Welcome back, everybody. In the wake of last week's violence at the Capitol, security is being increased across the country ahead of President-elect Biden's inauguration. J.J. Claver is a retired FBI special agent who joins us now live this morning to give us some insight about what security measures we may see in this week ahead. J.J., good morning. Appreciate you joining us here.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And so tell us a little bit about what federal and local authorities will be watching for closely over these next few days.
Well, obviously, with the threat streams we've seen reported, they're going to be looking to see are there groups traveling to not just the U.S. Capitol, but the state capitals across the country, looking at how can they increase security, move perimeters, make sure they're keeping the buildings safe and all the people safe that are inside those buildings.
And that sounds like such a daunting task, both federally and locally at the state level. Talk to us from your experience. How difficult is it to keep all of those locations safe next week?
Well, I mean, you're talking about several different jurisdiction levels here. I mean, at the federal level for the federal buildings, not just in the U.S. Capitol, but, in places like Philadelphia where we have multiple federal buildings. Each state capitol has its own agency that is responsible for its security, typically a Capitol Police or the state police agency for that. So there are a lot of resources being brought to bear to this security issue because it is so, at this point, spread out. We're not talking about one location. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of federal and state capitol locations that are targets.
Yeah, a lot of properties that they have to keep their eyes on these next several days. Last week we saw there was a delay in the deployment of the National Guard at the Capitol. This week already we've seen a huge beef up in security there. Tell us about the role that those troops will be playing in the security plan during the inauguration.
Yeah, typically those National Guard troops that are deployed in these kinds of special circumstances, I think, at the U.S. Capitol and around D.C., we're going to see them securing outer perimeters of locations and buildings. You will see, some presence inside, but inside, particularly the U.S. Capitol, that's going to be the Capitol Police primarily. I think what we're going to see is those troops used to secure outer perimeters to keep people away from the buildings and help keep those areas secure.
And given the riots that we saw last week, do you think that they'll be taking, any different measures, additional measures that they typically would not take during an inauguration?
Well, obviously, there's not going to be a crowd at this inauguration, both because of the security threat and because of COVID concerns. But it is going to be a question of crowd control at this point, and that is keeping anybody that shows up to the inauguration or to D.C., keeping them far enough away so that they can secure the actual outdoor location where the event is going to be taking place. You're going to see a fairly significant security presence, up on roofs, even in the air, to keep the immediate area where that inauguration is going to be occurring safe. And that is keeping the people away, keeping the threats away.
And keeping away what we're showing this video right now from last week, those riots just, seizing the Capitol there. We've seen in the last several days that the FBI has really been tracking down those people who were involved in storming the Capitol. Tell to us about that process and how they're able to identify those suspects.
Right. Well, the identifications are made, primarily through social media searches, through searches of online databases, government, state databases, driver's license. They come from tips. Most of those pictures are pretty good, pretty clear. So getting those pictures out to the public through the media, they'll get tips for identification, and then matching those people to the pictures they're seeing. Obviously starting with people that they can charge with specific crimes, mostly people who have were inside the Capitol. You've got theft and illegal entry, and there could be potential national security issues here with theft of laptops and other documents. So there are a lot of crimes that can be charged with the hundreds and hundreds of people that were identified as inside.
All right. Yeah, and those people hopefully will be brought to justice, and hopefully for a smooth inauguration both in D.C. and locally as well. J.J. Claver, thank you so much for your insight this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care now.